You ready for this?
Gonna be fun.
You will not stand in my way.
Frostborn. Hunger. This pleases me.
I do not fear you, mortal.
Your soul shall be mine.
Don't make me laugh.
Peekaboo? Oh, I do. Feel a shredding, baby. Let the battle begin.
Hello, everyone, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 92nd episode of the Nexus Trolls podcast. I am your host, not GOONHOTS. GOONHOTS shaved, and well, he's not here. I'm his alternate evil twin, alternate reality GOONHOTS. No, and as always, I'm joined by Soken. How you doing, buddy?
Yo, what up?
And Aurumis is with us in spirit today, but there he is. There's an image there for you guys to look at and just stare at. It's a beautiful image. But
Rest in peps to Aurumis.
now Aurumis had family emergency that he needed to deal with or tend to. So if you guys could send some good vibes his way, I'm sure he'd appreciate it. But
on a quick side note, that picture is much better than the little duck face selfie or whatever that he has
on Twitter, right?
whatever that is. Yeah, Aurumis, bro, fucking love you. Change that image on Twitter. Use this image.
Change it. Anyways, but yeah, thanks for being here, Soken, as always. Sorry we started a little bit late today, guys. I just finished up scrims not too long ago. And had to get some things set up and whatnot. You know how it is. You know how the Twitch life is. But anyways, let's we got a good show. It's gonna be a kind of a freestyle today. We're gonna talk about some interesting stuff. Hopefully, some good stuff for everybody out there that's listening, watching, and kind of just have a discussion about the new heroes and the maps, and hopefully you guys can in chat and everywhere else can add your discussion as well. But before we do get started, I do want to plug the patreon.com/trollsgg. Go check it out. Trolls.gg is shared with the Nexus Trolls and Trolls.gg content creators. The Nexus Trolls, I'm sorry, I just said the Nexus Trolls, Troll and HGC podcast and Trolls.gg content creators. Troll and HGC is a Heroes of the Storm esports podcast where you can find myself and Bags talking about HGC stuff, as well as some guests from time to time, and we do have a guest lined up for next week. And then some Trolls.gg content creators are writers. We have different writers that talk about different things, amateur scene, Hero League, and even this mysterious Bush League that everyone seems to be talking about. I don't know how it's leaking and getting out, but it's happening. It's happening. But yeah, go to our website, trolls.gg. Go check out some more stuff. But Patreon, all your Patreon support helps support all the content that goes out and everybody that's involved in the efforts. But cool, right on. We're gonna go ahead and just get right into all the nitty gritty that we want to do, that we want to get into, because I'm not sure how long we're gonna spend talking, and it's Soken and me. We talk a lot, so
yeah.
But first off, we all know PTR is live. Oh, actually, I'm sorry. I'm all over the place. I don't want to. Before we talk about that, I do want to say that we had our muster this past weekend, the Trolls muster. That was on Friday for my birthday. We played some custom games. We played some Stitches pool party. We played quick match draft. It was a lot of fun. Thanks to everybody that came and hung out and played Heroes of the Storm with us. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, thank you. That was fun. That was great.
Yeah, I had a blast. There was some serious feeding going on. Dorsh's ETC just should never be picked again. But I'm just saying.
I think it was Garrosh. I thought it was his Garrosh was the worst.
Both. Lock them both up.
Lock them up.
As a matter of fact, just take away Dorsh's mouse and keyboard. And don't...
You are banned. You are banned. From
I'm messing with you. I'm flaming you, Dorsch. I'm sorry. It's all in good fun, but bro, get some help, man. But we hope to be able to do that again for soon. Just look out, here on the podcast, on Twitch, on Twitter, and on the Discord. You'll know when we do those again. But it was a lot of fun. Hopefully we can play other games. We didn't play anything else. We kind of just got stuck in Here's the Storm and didn't do anything else. But we're down to play other games too. World of Warcraft. I mean, I caved. I got a subscription, dude.
What?
I got a subscription.
You never told me that. You never told me.
Sometimes to protect those you love, you gotta you gotta keep things away from them. You know what's messed up, dude? I bought it.
What?
I bought it last weekend. It was actually ready to go for the muster.
Oh, really? Okay.
I haven't played it, dude, because I've just been so busy with other stuff.
That's fair though, based on you were out of town and stuff for a while, so that makes sense.
Yeah, but yeah.
But you activated the subscription and everything?
I'm ready to go, dude. I'm ready.
Oh my god! So you wasted a week of how long? How long do you have?
3 months, dude.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Gotta get on that.
Hopefully, I can get some time in, man. But
yeah.
Anyways, enough of that. Let's get into the real stuff that everybody wants to talk about. So we know the PTR has been updated this week, right? It went live this week with updated Hanamura and Mephisto. Wait, it's updated, right? I'm not tripping or anything.
No, it's updated.
Okay.
So you can play quick match only. Obviously, every map is going to be Hanamura Temple. So we can no longer just say Hanamura because now you have the old Hanamura, which was the old style of map. Now you have the new Hanamura Temple, which is a new map per se. They're not different maps per se, but they gave them different names to kind of distinguish that, hey, this is a different map. Like it's not what you had before. So
yeah. Can they call it Garden of Terror Temple? We need another one.
How about Garden of Removed from the game? That would be nice.
Oh, removed of the Garden of the Removed. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yes. Okay, cool. And then also Mephisto is in the PTR as well as the Tyrande rework. Rework, talent update, whatever you want to call it. I'm on the rework side of things, but let's talk about Hanamura real fast. Let's talk about it for a little bit. So Hanamura before, the way it was a 2-lane battleground, 2-lane map. You had a top lane and bottom lane, and then you had a huge empty, well, I don't want to say empty, but a huge garden in between those 2 lanes that contained some camps. The recon camp, the support camp, and the boss that was in the middle there.
Yes.
It was a huge jungle. You can do that. You couldn't attack the core directly. You had to get it through. You had to attack the core through the payload objectives. The payload objectives, there would be 2 that would spawn, 1 per each team, and you had to push them to certain areas on the map to shoot cannon shots at the core. And if I'm not mistaken, the damage from the amount of shots that you got, did that correlate with how many structures you took down?
I think I'm trying
to remember.
I don't know if it was structures. Did the structures affect the HP? I don't think so, but maybe. I remember that obviously you couldn't attack the core directly, right? That was kind of the core of of the game. I think it did. I think when you took down a fort or a keep, it would attack the core. As far as I remember, there was like 7 shots on the core or something along those lines.
It wasn't like Towers of Doom, right? Where you you start off with 30 or 40 or whatever.
Yeah, it was literally like it was 10 when it first started, and then they're like, okay, these games are going on way too long, and they cut it down to 7. Every fort keep gave you a shot. The boss gave you a shot, and there was catapults at the beginning. There was catapults that would go in the lane once you kill the keep, and those would go to the core and get a shot, kind of like the pumpkins on Tower of Doom.
Right.
And then what else? Oh, and then the payload obviously would give you a shot or 2 shots or something. I forget exactly.
Yeah.
So
the way it worked before, there's 2 payloads. Each team had to push their payload onto the end point or whatever, that wherever that trail ended, and then the catapults or the payload would shoot at the core. What that created was just a bunch of games where people just ignored payloads and stuff, and just kind of just yeah, it was a mess of a map. You could bribe camps, and just like the bribe cooldown, the bribe would reduce the timer on the camp, and it was a mess. But anyways,
it was pure chaos.
It was, and like nobody knew how to play the game. Nobody knew how to play the map, and there was just cheese. And I guess that became the way to play the map, right? It just wasn't fun. It was not. People were banning Asmo, Sylvanas,
Brightwing bands, Brightwing bands,
Nova bands, just because they had bribe. But,
yep.
But now, the way it works now is there's one payload that spawns, right? And then both teams have to try to fight over this payload and push the payload to a point. And then
let's start with the first thing that's first, right?
Okay, go ahead.
The core now actually can be killed and damaged like normal.
Yeah.
That's the first thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Before you can actually walk up to the core now. Before you couldn't even get to the core. It was blocked off like Towers of Doom. So now, with that in mind, right, you can kill the core, and it doesn't have a shot, and there's no shot counts, anything like that. The objective now, it acts like almost like a Blackheart's Bay, where you turn in the payload at whatever direction you're going, and it'll shoot to the strongest lane. I think that's how it does it. I'm not fully sure yet.
In Blackheart's Bay, it just it shot middle first, I think.
Let's not go into Blackheart's Bay.
But anyways,
I absolutely hate that map. But yeah, it'll shoot the strongest lane first. So what I basically kind of like how Battlefield of Eternity works, where the MO goes to whatever the strongest lane is. It starts there and it shoots. I don't know, like it has a lot of shots, like 8 or 10 or something crazy shots. So it does significant damage to whatever it's shooting at. So now there's actually a reason to go to the payload, because not everything is equal. You're not always going to be able to push in the one lane. You're not going to be able to, hopefully, in theory, 5-man, one lane, and win the game like you could before.
Yep. I like this change a lot, because now it's like no longer you just cheese down a lane and then win one objective and that's the end of the game, or just give up all the objectives and then you have opened up the map. Now you're 3 levels ahead. You win one objective and the game ends. Like that wasn't very fun. And now you can have backdoor strats and stuff like that. But what I do like the way the core is set up, it looks like you could only attack from the side lanes to the core. You can't go. There's no middle lane to attack the core.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
And okay, you could say that's the same for Battlefield of Eternity. However, in Battlefield of Eternity, you can take down that gate. On Brax's Holdout, you can take down that gate and that wall that nobody ever does anyways, right? But now it's like you have to fight through the lane onto the objective or onto the core. I think that's pretty cool. And it's like, if you have to retreat, you have to choose a path to retreat. You can't let's just run out the middle. Is it going to be top? Is it going to be bottom? I don't know. But I do like the sieging mechanic too with the payload. Sometimes you might have a comp that doesn't necessarily deal a lot of good siege damage, but is good at controlling an area and team fighting and stuff like that. And then because you won that and you won that objective, that struggle, that tug of war, you get significant damage done to the structures. I like that. I do like that. I don't like collecting 10 coins and then losing my fort, But
yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah, and one of the other biggest things that kind of came up now is, you're talking about the camps in the previous one. There was the coin camp, there was the boss, and then what else? What was the other one? It was a samurai with a healing camp, right? Yes.
And there was also turrets. There was also turret camps.
Oh, and a turret camp. There you go. Yeah. So there's the kind of the 4 camps, and then now they took out the boss. There's no boss. The camp that used to give the coin now acts as like a camp that you can take, that acts as like a tower, a vision tower kind of. So like the ones that you would get, you could walk over and capture in game that anyone can walk over and capture.
The ones that people will feed over on Sky Temple, at the beginning of the game. Let's just go. And you're like,
the Vision Tower. So that is more of a more semi-permanent one that you capture it and it's your vision for X amount of time until the camp respawns. I think that's awesome. I think that's a really clever way of doing that.
Yeah, and if you want to take it, you got to kill the minions that are on it then again and like recap it. You have to kill it's cool. It's
not a permanent benefit either. Like, you could capture their camp, and it's not like something that is a very permanent thing. Like, in like we see in kind of what was it? Volskaya. There we go.
Yeah.
Volskaya. You get those items, and it's like permanent. You can steal their camp, and it's permanent. And that's kind of makes it harder to come back. But in this one, in theory, just taking that vision camp is good for the moment, but it doesn't necessarily benefit you all game.
Definitely. I just saw you in chat talking about my chin. But anyways.
Are you also self-conscious?
No, not at all. I've been told I have a very, very nice chin.
Kappa prides in chat.
Before we get too far into the camp, let's talk about the payload. The payload. We did talk about the payload and what it does and how that works. But I wanted to mention about the payload, how it's like forcing more team fights, potentially more team fights instead of just ignoring all the time, and maybe more creative comps surrounding fighting, the chokes and the team fighting aspect and all that stuff. Do you know if more people are standing on it, if it moves faster, or is it like a set speed?
I'm pretty sure it's a set speed. I don't remember seeing anything about like before. Like actually that's a good point. I didn't even think about that. Before it was a tiered speed, so the more people that were standing on it, the faster it would go, up to like 5 times. So you could even play Vikings on that map before, because you could put 3 Vikings on the thing and make it go super fast and have your other 4 in lane and stuff.
Yeah.
Now I'm pretty sure it's a constant speed, from what I've seen, and people play the PTR on that map and whatnot. It's not tiered as far as I could tell.
Yeah. Sorry, I just wanted to go back to that real fast.
No, that's smart. That's smart. And yeah, also something I actually forgot to mention, probably the biggest change to the camps, the Vision one is a good one, but the biggest change is the Samurai camp is now no longer a support camp. It's actually a siege minion.
Yeah, it's actually kind of cool. I like the animations that they made for it. You kill it, you cap the point, and then it pushes down a lane and it has like cleaving attacks and whatnot. And it sieges up structures. You can zone people out, keep them behind their gates and stuff as you siege. I think that's cool. I think that's...
Dude, it does a lot of hero damage. A lot.
Oof.
Like, you have to be careful. It's like it's almost like the Immortal. Like, you cannot get hit by like the Immortal or anything like that. It actually doesn't... It will chunk you out, dude. I saw McIntyre. He was playing Mephisto, trying him out. He's like trying to make this play, teleporting over the wall, whatever. Comes back, gets cleaved by the minion and dies. It did like half of his life.
Ooh.
And he died. So like, that is going to be significant. And it's a good design decision, because again, it gives you an option. You can say, hey guys, look, we know they're going to get the payload. Let's have a fallback. Let's go get this samurai camp and go push the lane. Try to trade off some damage. So I do feel like it's a really important factor in this map. I think it will be significant when it comes to strategy.
Yeah. They it's called a swordsman camp or something.
No, is it called swordsman really?
I think that's what it's called. Yeah.
It doesn't really say here on their website.
Nah, I don't know, but
I'm calling it the samurai camp because that sounds a lot cooler than the swordsman. It's the swordsman camp. No, it's the samurai camp. All right.
Do you know if the turret's still going to be there, right? And the boss is no longer there. There is no boss anymore. There is no boss on the map. But I think there's still the turrets and no support camps. But all right.
Yeah.
They've also said that they're removing Brax's holdout from the unranked rotation and adding Hanamura to it, so we can assume that Hanamura will be on the Hero League rotation along with Alterac Pass.
So two parts. Yeah, the turret camp is still there.
Okay.
And by the way, each side has a samurai camp. Each side.
Right.
Which is awesome. And then yeah. So what they're planning on doing. No, I'm not gonna say swordsman camp. And then yeah, like so what they're gonna do is they're gonna put it into unranked, which is awesome. They did this with the last time with Alterac Pass. This time they're putting it into unranked instead of quick match. So.
Ooh.
Yeah, which is great because I think that's awesome that you need to learn how to not only play on it but draft on it. That's really good too.
Yeah.
And then they are limiting the map pool, which was the best part. The best part. I didn't have
It
to
was
play
the best.
any
Yeah, we didn't have to
crappy
play
maps.
Haunted Mines, Garden of Terror, Blackheart's Bay. Like, why do we still play those maps?
I don't know. I'm gonna complain about it every single time. I don't even care. I'm so over that. I don't know anyone that like actually enjoys those maps. But yeah, we get to enjoy temporary bliss and experience what it's like to live the ideal life, not have to play those maps in unranked. So look for that next week when PTR drops. You're gonna see that in the notes.
Well, I mean, when the actual patch drops, because
That's what I meant. When the PTR goes live.
Yeah. I like that. It's like people are like, I want to play new Hanamura. I guess I'll draft Murky anyways because that's what I was gonna play in quick match.
Actually, Murky could still be good because that samurai camp. If you can bribe it, if it's bribable,
is it bribable? I don't know if it's. I don't think it's bribable.
I don't know yet personally. But
I hope not. I hope bribe just no longer is a thing on that map.
Well, they made the support camp, or no, they made one of the camps not bribable. I thought at some point.
I think it was the support. The support camp was not bribable. The turrets were, and the recon camp. The recon camp was able to be bribed. But yeah, Hanamura. I'm gonna play on it. I want to see what's up. I want to see what it's like. Okay, before and we're I guess kind of a side path here or whatever.
Okay.
With Alterac Pass and Hanamura, two maps, two battlegrounds added into the game, pretty close to one another, I would say. Like,
actually, yeah, very close.
This is probably the closest two battlegrounds have come out together at the same time in HOTS history, if I'm not mistaken. I could be so wrong.
Did they? No. I think they released Braxis and Warhead Junction at the same time.
Yeah, but that was
tied. But those were related though.
That was tied to an event, right? Like it was like, okay, this is cool, you know.
Well, they're also both StarCraft maps and both relate. Like they're both related to the same event, like you're saying.
Yeah.
So like, it's a little different. These are completely separate. Like not even closely similarly related. Not the same event. Yeah, I would say in terms of that, yeah, they're the closest in history for sure.
So with these two maps being added, what's the HGC map pool gonna look like for next year? Will Hanamura Alterac Pass is gotta be played. It's going to be played.
Over Braxis, 110%.
Oh, 110% over Braxis.
Yeah, for sure.
Now,
and I'm excited for that. I'm glad.
Is Hanamura gonna be played? Okay,
It's a little hard to say, but
it's a little hard to say. I would like to see it be played, honestly, because if you're gonna have these two maps out for this long, we need to like. I think the community needs to learn how to play the map the best way possible, and the best way to learn is from watching pros. To be honest, you know?
But we're not gonna even if that does happen, it's not gonna happen until next year. So we still got potentially another 4 months ish to.
But then that allows pros to create content for the map, ideas, and kind of like the discussion starts, right? So
yeah,
it's happening.
Yeah, true.
It's happening.
It depends. Like, is this map going to be too snowbally? Is the question that will determine how it's played. Because Battlefield is snowbally, but it's not too snowbally to the point where pros are like, we should not have this in the pool, right? So.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what? That's actually a good point that I even just made to myself. Was like, Actually, Hanamura, if it's less snowbally, then Battlefield could actually replace Battlefield in the pro map.
Ooh, Battlefield, huh? Okay. I could see it replace. I could see it replacing. Sure. I mean, if that's the lot, assuming this map is perfect and things are fine, I could see Battlefield maybe taking a step back. I could also see Curse Hollow leaving, because Curse Hollow right now is just kind of like meh. It's not fun to watch. It's just it feels like you're just doing chores on Curse Hollow.
Yeah, that's a good point actually.
Yeah. I could see Curse, and it's also one of the older maps. It's the oldest map.
Yeah.
One of the oldest maps in the game. And it has been in the rotation in every competitive mode and HGC and unranked, whatever, for the longest time. Maybe they just give it a little break for a while. I don't know. But anyways. What map would you remove to bring Hanamura? Assuming, let's say, we have Hanamura and Alterac Pass in HGC map pool. Brax's hold. We were both assuming that Brax's holdout gets removed for Alterac Pass. What map does Hanamura take over?
I mean, I see your point for Cursed Hollow, but I feel like Cursed is just, while it's somewhat more boring and it's older, I still feel like pros feel like they can make comebacks there with boss plays and whatnot.
Sure.
And I think people are. I don't foresee Hanzo getting nerfed to the point where, like, it's gonna be not be a thing, not be a ban, have to be ban potential, because Hanzo is like literally.
Soken, what map is gonna be removed for Hanamura?
Okay, Battlefield. I think Battlefield, and I only say Battlefield because of Hanzo. I think
Okay. Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, he's so broken on that map that I think pros aren't going to want to deal with Hanzo anymore. So.
Okay, that's fair. Wildman says Alterac is just another warhead. It's not going to be in rotation, in my opinion. Well, then that means Braxis will be.
Yeah, someone's got to be there.
Yeah. So, and I think Braxis will get removed faster than. I mean, it's gonna be removed, and Alterac may be the map that takes its spot, and it might get banned. Alterac just might get banned all the time. Who knows? I mean, we saw Volskaya kind of just make its way in there.
Yeah, and I've seen a lot of good games on Volskaya in the pro scene. I think it actually ended up fitting in very well. Actually, you know, and it also gave the at the last Western Clash, gave or was it MSB? Actually, it was MSB. It gave the North Americans actually kind of an edge because they knew how to play Volskaya better than everyone else.
That's true. That's true. But yep. Anyways, Hanamura, it's gonna be out soon. Just start thinking of drafts. Start thinking of heroes that might be good. I think Hanzo's still gonna be super good on that. Look at all these chokes in those areas. Like Hanzo's just gonna be a good hero. I think he's gonna be super strong on this map.
He's always good, man.
Yeah, but anyways, let's move on here. Let's talk about some Mephisto and let's talk about some Tyrande real quick. Well, real quick, but so Mephisto, he is a ranged assassin. People were thinking he was gonna be a tank or whatever. I don't know. Ranged assassin. He's fairly. Would you say he's squishy? I don't know if he's really squishy, but I mean,
I don't think he's squishy. No,
he's not super tanky, but it's not like he's gonna blow up like a, Murky or Abathur or something like that. But
at level 0, he is more tanky than the usual ranged assassin. But he's not like tanky. He's just more tanky.
Okay.
Yeah,
fair.
if that makes any sense.
So he's got 3 abilities. Well, his 3 basic abilities are his what are they called? The skull, his Q skull missile. He you spawn a little skull and then you shoot it forward at this ridiculously slow speed. And,
I know, right?
And if you just so happen to hit anybody with it, they're slowed by 25% for 2 seconds, and it's still not long enough or slow enough to land your next Q.
It pierces though, I think.
It does.
Well.
It pierces. And
which is kind of nice.
It only costs 20 mana. It's a good poke option, I guess. His W is called Lightning Nova. You create this ring around yourself, kind of like the way, I guess, Phoenix has his ring around him.
Yeah, like the phase cutter, right?
Yeah,
Or plasma cutter. Sorry.
the plasma cutter. You create this circle
Yeah.
around you. You deal lightning. It's like a lightning circle. It doesn't go around in a circle. It's just a constant AOE around you. You deal damage. I don't want to say over time, but it's like sustained damage on targets, and the more targets you hit, the more damage it deals. And like if you keep hitting the targets, they take more damage the longer they're in it.
Yeah, and the biggest thing here to remember is that it's called Lightning Nova. So if you're a Diablo 2 fan, do not confuse Lightning Nova here with Lightning Nova in Diablo 2. Lightning Nova in Diablo 2 emanated from the hero outward and hit everything outward. This is not. This should be called Lightning Ring because it is not a Nova. It's a ring that's just a circle around Mephisto, and you have to remain at that circular distance at the radius to get the damage.
You can't adjust the range at where you want to cast it. You have to maintain a set range.
Yeah.
Which is awkward to me. It's a little weird, and like you don't slow anybody in it or anything like. Not like Phoenix's plasma cutter, where like if they get hit by it, they get slowed, and you kind of keep them in there. This you just gotta deal with it.
Yeah.
His E is called Shade of Mephisto. You press E to teleport to a location. When you teleport there, you deal a little bit of damage, and then you see you leave like a little shadow behind from where you teleported from, and after 2.5 seconds, you teleport back to that location. I don't know. I will talk more about it. He's got 2 heroics, Lord of Hatred. After channeling for
No.
I'm sorry, that's his trait.
Yeah.
His trait, a Lord of Hatred. Whenever you hit enemies with basic abilities, you reduce the cooldown of your other abilities by 1.5 seconds. Or it's the Skull and the Shade by 1.5 seconds, and then Lightning Nova grants 0.3 seconds per hero hit. And then his first heroic is Consume Souls. You channel for 2.5 seconds. You reveal everybody. They take a bunch of damage. They're slowed. That's that. We talked about that last week. And then Durance of Hate. After a second channel, you like shoot this like barrage of spirits that hit enemies in front of you. They get rooted, and then that from them it slowly spreads out to other heroes. And if it hits them, they get rooted as well. Anyways,
Yeah, it's a way for players to automatically press Alt F4 because they're gonna lose the game anyway. So Blizzard's just helping you out, just giving you a way to quickly end your pain.
Yeah. I played a little bit of him in try mode, kind of mess around with him. I don't get it. I don't get what he's supposed to be doing. And I guess that's fair to say for a lot of new heroes that come out. Like right away you don't get it. But for me, I don't know what it is with this hero and me specifically. Like I just don't feel like I'm doing anything. Like I feel like he doesn't have a combo the way Kel'Thuzad has combos, or Kerrigan, or Alarak, or Deckard Cain. I feel like he doesn't punish up front right away. Is he just some sustained damage mage guy that just can warp around and do shit, or like what do you think this hero does?
Yeah, I think he is more on the sustained side. It's kind of weird. So you do not want to take it's weird. He's sustain, but you also don't really, in my opinion, want to take him in situations where you sustain fight for a long time.
He's
it's kind of a
mana
weird
hungry.
thing. No, not just that, but the things you can't just raw dog jump in Shade of Mephisto and Lightning Nova people. You're gonna die. So with that said, right, you poke, you got the skull missile damage. That's more sustained damage. Lightning Nova damage isn't even really that. It's not that good. But it's great for finishing. So you kind of poke, and then when you see they're kind of retreating, I think the point is that you shade in at that point, kind of AoE damage, because usually people clump up when they run away or whatever. AoE damage, lightning ring them, and hopefully that just it sets off a bunch of resets, kind of in a way, right? Because you're getting more damage, which means more cooldowns, resets. Um, it's a hard thing to play, and at this point, we haven't seen anyone really pull it off too well.
Yeah.
But I think that's how I foresee it happening, because the skull missile doesn't happen right away, so you can't like it's not like an orb, right? It's not like an arcane orb from Li Ming. Lightning Nova, yeah. It seems like there's no real combo, like you're saying. So
yeah, it's just weird. Like, okay, what are you teleporting to from? Like, the damage. It's not like you say you're killing people. Like, you're not gonna be chunking people out and doing a bunch of stuff. Yes, you are pretty mobile. I guess maybe you are an opportunist in the sense that like they get low, then you cast your heroic to kill everybody
and like teleport in and hopefully get a kill or something. Yeah.
But why not just take Li Ming? His wave clear isn't that good.
We'll get to it later, but I think
okay,
a lot of his good perks are going to come from his trait and from his lightning ring. I think those are the two things that will set him apart later on in the talent tree.
Yeah. So I was talking to Tomster and Akaface and Casanova and stuff earlier today, and I'm kind of asking like, what do you guys think? You guys played him? And Casanova was like, I think he's going to be really strong against frontline. You know, that where you can get those, you can kind of keep your distance and just whittle down the front line by hitting multiple frontline enemies with your ring, dealing more damage and getting the cooldown reduction and things like that.
Yeah.
And just wearing him out like that and then trying to finish him off with your heroic. That's what he was saying.
Possibly. I could see that too.
But
the hardest part though is like, anyway, we'll get into it. I want to talk about his talents at some point. I'll explain what I think is not going to be good.
So let's talk about his level 1 talents. At level 1, he's got a few talents here. They all buff something, and like his basic abilities or his trait. Actually, like everything outside of his heroic, obviously, right? Level 1, he has a quest for his skull missile. It's called Unyielding Power. All you gotta do is hit enemies with your skull missile. After hitting 20 heroes, increase the damage by 60, and after hitting 40 heroes, you reduce the cooldown permanently by 5 seconds. Right off the bat, just from playing with the skull missile stuff, I don't like this talent. Hitting 20 heroes, let alone 40, is gonna be like really hard, and I don't know if the rewards are that good.
I agree. I saw McIntyre play the Q build, and I've seen someone else, I forget who, play the Q build, because that's kind of the first thing that sticks out to you, right? It's like, oh, quest at level 1, let's see how it goes, you know, how we're kind of, you can kind of tell by how you're completing a quest at level 1 as to like, am I good at this skill, or how easy is it to land, how easy is it to finish, and then what's the payoff from there. And McIntyre was having a really hard time finishing it, so he was like, I don't know about this. Yeah. And I would tend to agree, because I mean, there's like one time where he got 4 stacks because it pierces, but most of the time he was missing. So
he's got his other level talent, or his other level 1 talent is Furious Spark. This one enhances his W, which is the Lightning Nova. Furious Spark, Lightning Nova deals bonus damage. Every 5th hit from Lightning Nova against the same target deals 90 bonus damage. So
that sounds good to me.
It's pretty, you know. It's
just damage.
You're getting lots of damage out. Cool.
Yep.
All right. Or added damage.
Like if you feel like you can stay there for a long time and really get all the value from the lightning ring, then I would say you could take that one. It could be worth it.
Yeah. Malicious Intent, again, enhances his Shade of Mephisto. Whenever you use Shade of Mephisto, you grant yourself 20% spell power while active, and for 2.5 seconds after it ends. So you teleport in, you get 20% increased spell power, and then when you come back, you still retain the 20% spell power for 2.5 seconds afterwards. That seems like a pretty good talent. You could shade away or something, create some space, deal some damage to some people, cast your heroic maybe in that time frame.
Or if you're looking to finish them, like I was saying, right? You teleport in with that lightning ring,
Yeah.
and you get more spell power during that time.
Yeah. See, you more often than not, this talent would probably be force you to use your shade offensively to get a lot of value from. But again, this is where I said earlier, like, I don't know if he has combos or anything. Like, you go in and then you use your ability. You're usually too close to really hit anybody with your Lightning Nova, so you're missing out on a lot of potential damage. The Q is too slow. You don't hit anybody, so you miss out on a lot of potential damage. To me, that's just, I eat away, I pressed R, and now they're dead.
Yep, I agree. Yep.
Alright, and then his other talent at level 1 is called Anger. Basic attacks activate Lord of Hatred, which is his trait. Basic attacks against enemy heroes also activate Lord of Hatred, reducing basic ability cooldowns by 0.75 seconds. I think, generally speaking, this is not a bad talent. You get a couple auto attacks in there, you get more Qs, more Ws, and more Es out. And you're already hitting here. So if you're maximizing your DPS, hitting them with your abilities and auto attacking, you're going to get consistent cooldown reduction, right?
True. I think this is somewhat of a debate talent, a little bit.
Really? Okay.
Because I feel like as a mage, someone slightly on the squishier side, slightly squishier. He is more tanky, but he's still slightly squishy. It's kind of a debate. It's like, oh, now I feel the need to basic attack and be in someone's danger zone all the time, whereas I may not feel that without this talent. With that said, I do feel like it's not bad. I mean, 0.75 is a significant amount, and it doesn't even say against heroes. It just says in general. So you can take a camp.
No. If you hover over it, like, the description specifically says against enemy heroes.
Oh, it doesn't say it on Heroes Hearth, by the way. So,
oh, okay.
Yeah, in Heroes Hearth, guys, don't listen to that, I guess. For this. But yeah, so okay, so if it says against heroes, then I definitely think it's more debatey. And what do you think at this tier then at that point that is kind of the go-to? Like, what do you think is the default here without any situational like knowledge?
I like Anger just because of the synergies that it has with other talents later, but if after what you said, maybe Furious Spark.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. So my default would probably be Furious Spark, and if I feel like I can't stay in there all the time to get that fifth hit proc, then I would take Anger, probably.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Level 4, again, he's got 3 talents here at this tier. One affecting his Q, his W, and then his passive. This time the Shade is not on this tier. His Q, Hateful Mending. Skull Missile heals Mephisto for 50% of the damage it deals to heroes. I'm just going to come out and say this. I think this talent sucks. This talent is trash. Not only can you not hit anybody with your Q, it doesn't deal any damage to begin with. You're not getting anything back. Maybe if you took some spell power talents and you're landing your Qs like a madman, sure. But I don't think so.
I will say, if you're going to go the quest at level 1, you might as well go this one at level 4. That's pretty much it. Like, if you're going to do it right. Do this one at level 4.
Yeah. What else does he have here? Static Barrier. Lightning Nova grants a shield at the end of its duration. Lightning Nova grants Mephisto a shield equal to 50% of the damage it dealt to heroes. And that shield lasts for 7 seconds. This talent is actually kind of cool. Like, you can if you get a lot of cooldown reduction, and if you took the level 1 Lightning Nova talent, you can get a lot of shields. Actually.
Yeah, I think it definitely. I don't think that this is a bad talent by any means. I think it's kind of. I think a lot of people will see it as the go-to, right? Because you get that shield, it feels like safer. So I think it's good for sure.
Yeah. Spite. Increase regen globe healing duration by 60%. Every tick of regen globe healing activates Lord of Hatred, reducing basic ability cooldowns by 0.5 seconds. I think this is also a good talent. Now it says increase the healing duration by 60%. Is this the amount of time, like, are they increasing the amount of time you get, that it takes for you to get full value from that regen globe? Or are they adding, like, are you getting 60% benefit from the regen globe?
Then the duration. It's kind of hard to say. I assume that it comes out to be the same as kind of Devils do in that sense. Because if you're extending the duration, you're also extending the amount that you're healed. But so you're going to end up, let's say, you know, how do I say this? It's kind of hard to explain. Basically, it's another way, it's a different way of saying you're extending the healing. You're getting more healing. So you're getting the same amount, like the same kind of amount of healing for 60% longer. Whereas Devil's Due just gives you, I think, more healing, right, overall.
Yeah.
So you see that bar on Diablo go just like shoots up, right? That's why people pre-tap with Devil's Due and then go into fights, because they have that super fast healing bar going up. This one, I think they're trying to avoid that same idea by just extending the duration. So you're still getting more healing, but it's more of a length as opposed to an amount.
I see. I like this talent. I mean, if there's like Tomb of the Spider Queen could be really good. Infernal Shrines, you know, you're rotating, picking up lots of globes. Like, that's just more damage you're putting out, right?
Yeah, no, I think it's hard to ignore the CDR on these things that we're talking about.
Yeah.
Like 0.5 seconds, you're getting a CDR of 0.5 seconds every second.
And
every tick.
Let's say a globe, you pick up a globe in, like, in a team fight or in a skirmish, like, and then you're with level 1 with anger or whatever, and you're hitting even if you didn't take anger, you take spite. You're hitting people with your abilities, which already decrease your cooldowns, and then you got a globe too, which decreases your cooldown, and you're probably healing a little bit longer. That's actually not bad. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I think it's good. I think, like you said, on the maps where these globes are readily available, even on Brax's Holdout, I think this could be a pretty good one.
Yeah, just those globes, as long as you're controlling the globes, right? So.
Well, yeah, assuming you actually understand the point of the globes, you're like going to get them. Some people just ignore them, but yeah, that's a whole different discussion.
All right, so level 7, these are all talents that improve his shade, the Shade of Mephisto. The first one that we have here is called Ghastly Armor. Shade of Mephisto grants 20 armor while active and for 2.5 seconds after it ends. So you can look to jump in, be aggressive, or run away, and you get some armor. 20 armor is not bad, nothing to laugh at. I'm noticing more and more heroes are having armor in their kits and stuff. But this seems like a pretty cool talent, you know, just becoming tankier, letting you trade more effectively onto opponents.
Yeah, before we go into anything else, I definitely think this will be the go-to.
You think this one's going to be the go-to?
Yeah, you guys will see why in a second, but yeah, I think this is 20 is like, damn, that's a lot, man.
Yeah. Oh, real quick, what do you think the go-to is at 4?
Oh yeah, the go-to at 4. So okay, so I'm just gonna say I'm gonna stick with the whole lightning nova or lightning ring kind of idea. Since my default at 1 would be Furious Spark, I would probably say Static Barrier would be my go-to at 4, and then in situations with the globes like we were talking about, I would pick Spite at level 4.
Okay. I said my go-to at level 1 was Anger, with Furious Spark being second. I would pick Spite here and then Static Barrier if I was going with the Furious Spark.
So we kind of have 2 different builds going on here then at this point.
Yeah.
Like mine is more like the lightning ring, and yours is more like the CDR, the trait build, I guess you could call it.
Yeah. His other level talents at level 7, he's got Froststorm. Enemies near Shade of Mephisto are slowed by 50% for 2 seconds, and hitting enemies with Skull Missile with Shade of Mephisto while the shade is active increases the slow to 50% instead of 20 or 25. Trickery at level 7, and Shade of Mephisto grants 20% movement speed while active, and for 2.5 seconds after it ends. After Shade of Mephisto expires, all slows and roots are removed from Mephisto. That's interesting. It's kind of like a cleanse. I like Ghastly Armor and I like Trickery a lot. I think the movement speed is actually kind of nutty. It lets you create more space between yourself and the opponent, or to catch up and put more damage out, get in position for other things. I like Trickery, and I like Trickery because I'm going with the auto attacks with Anger at level 1. I can kind of like bob and weave, throw in auto attacks, be like a Vala of sorts, I guess. I don't know.
Keep in mind it has a cooldown of 60 seconds, so this is something I think you have to activate. Is that how it works?
No, this is not an activatable.
Like, I don't know, this I'm sorry, but this Heroes Hearth page is like super wrong at what the information is giving me right now.
Yeah,
I'm gonna actually open up the PTR client myself.
So he does have an ability later on. Wait, maybe the slow and root removal is tied to a 60-second cooldown, but it doesn't say that.
Oh, okay. That would be interesting.
It just says after Shade of Mephisto expires, all slows and roots are removed from Mephisto. But I like Trickery. I think Trickery is cool.
Yeah, I agree. I think 20 is hard to give up, though. I do think 20 is hard to give up.
Yeah,
20 armor.
I think 20 armor would be my second go-to, but I'm going with my shitty build, I guess.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine. All right, cool.
Level 10, Consume Souls. Here we go. We mentioned these earlier. 120-second cooldown, 80 mana. Endurance of Hate, 80-second cooldown, 60 mana. Consume Souls is probably going to be the way to go for everybody, huh?
We talked about this last week. Don't ever choose the other talent. Just go Consume Souls, get some free damage, get some free vision. It's OP. It's literally broken. It's gonna break this game. Just do it.
Yeah, that's 357 damage at level 0. By level 10, that's dealing like 500 plus, I think, right? I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe my math is wrong.
Depends on the scaling, I guess, that they have for it, but.
All right, level 13.
4-ish%.
Level 13, 3 other talents here. Abhorred Skull. Hitting a hero with Skull Missile grants 20% spell power for 6 seconds. Again, I already expressed my issues with this talent, or with any Skull talent. Hysteria. Lord of Hatred also reduces the cooldown of Mephisto's heroic ability.
Woo!
Pretty strong.
Ooh.
And then Shard of Hate. Basic attacks hit enemies near the primary target. This grants him some wave clear. His auto attacks already don't do a whole lot of damage. Being able to do some splash damage for some wave clear seems nice, but I think Hysteria, dude, is the way to go.
Yo, Shard of Hate, I think, has potential, but I mean, damn, if it's boring, right? I mean, it hits enemies near the primary target. It's just a little splash. I don't know that this, like you said, his basic attacks aren't the best. It's not like a Kerrigan splash where you actually do damage. So,
do you think, like, if you went Anger at level 1 and you're getting like lots of auto, like you hit multiple heroes with an auto attack?
Oh, actually, it's enemies near the primary target. Yeah, actually, that could be the way to go with your auto attack build here.
Could be, but I'm looking at just full CDR reduction.
Yeah, true. I mean, the question is how important in that game is your level 10 Consume Souls. If Consume Souls in this game, getting the vision constantly,
and getting the kills,
like finishing off heroes, is very important. You definitely go Hysteria, and I think you go Hysteria most of the time. I don't think that changes. Like, this is just a really, really good talent.
Well, and then let's look at the synergies here. Let's look at the synergies here with Hysteria. Like, whenever Lord of Hatred is activated, you reduce the cooldown of your heroic ability. Well, if we're looking at Anger, you're activating your Lord of Hatred. You're looking at Spite, your Lord of Hatred. So, on top of what you're already getting just from using your abilities.
Yeah, this is. It's hard to argue that this is not the always choice.
I mean, unless somebody else in chat.
Yeah.
Sasa says, "Is Mephisto a mana dependable hero?" Like, what do you mean? Like he's. I think he's pretty mana hungry. He can be. He can be.
I think he's going to be with your build. I think he's definitely going to be. You're spamming all those spells, like for sure.
Yeah. Huh.
So.
Anyway,
yep, so his theory is definitely the go-to, and I don't think either of us are gonna.
I think even if he didn't go with these other talents, I think Hysteria is still gonna be pretty good.
Yeah, agreed.
16. He's got talents that increase the effectiveness of his Lightning Nova and his Skull Missile again. Lightning reaction. Skull Missile explodes when hitting Lightning Nova. Skull Missile explodes on contact with Lightning Nova, dealing 144 damage to nearby enemies. That's at level 0. So you hit people with your W, you throw your Q out. Once the skull hits the Lightning Nova, it blows up in a radius. Could add for good wave clear, more burst damage on targets, on enemy target or enemy heroes. Maybe, huh?
Yeah. So the combo there would have to be
W and then Q.
You throw out a W, right? You throw out a Q, and then you W right away. Teleport into the enemy team behind them. And then it'll hit at the barrier of your Lightning Nova and explode, hopefully hitting the enemy. So it's a little bit of a weird one. I'm not sure how to pull this off just yet, but that's what I would imagine it would be like.
Yeah. Okay. Static Field. When Lightning Nova's damage bonus reaches 40%, enemy heroes within its radius take damage equal to 12% of their maximum health. Is that just one chunk of 12%? Or if they stay there, they keep taking 12%. I think it's just one chunk.
I'm pretty sure it's one chunk, yeah. And it's also within radius. Within radius.
Oh yeah.
So what that means is that as long as you reach that 40, it doesn't really matter when, right? It could be you're only hitting one person that whole time, and then at the last second before the 40%, you get the whole team within your radius. That's 12% of every hero's health.
Interesting. I'm sure that synergizes pretty nicely also with the static barrier. You get a lot of shield back there.
Oh my god, that's actually insane to think about.
Yeah.
Oh my god, 50%. So you get that 6% of hero health back. Then.
So like, let's say you hit like a Diablo and a Blaze or something like that, and you just oof.
That's actually crazy, dude. That's actually crazy.
Yeah. My pick here is Animosity. Every 15 seconds, you can activate to extend the duration of your Lightning Nova by 2.5 seconds. Passively, basic attacks while Lightning Nova is active cause an immediate pulse of Lightning Nova damage. So the way I see this is you press your W out, and then right before it's going to end, you press 1, and you increase the duration by another 2.5 seconds. While this is going on, you're getting a shit ton of cooldown reduction, you're dealing more damage, and then once that wears off, if you did it right, your W's back up off cooldown again, so you can use your W again, giving you more mana or more cooldown reduction, and then more damage, more ability, more heroics with my build. But
now, if this animosity cooldown counts as a basic ability, then you're also reducing the cooldown.
It does
on
not.
That.
It does
not.
not.
I didn't think it would.
Yeah.
But yeah, that would be actually broken because you do so much CDR that you'd have it back right away. So
yeah, so that's my go-to there.
Yeah, and I think obviously with my build, static field is going to be insane here.
Right on. Level 20s. Consumed by Hatred. Consumed Souls deals bonus damage equal to 10% of the target's missing health. If Consumed Souls initial cast kills a hero, it will cast 1 additional time. I don't think that 10% is a lot. It's kind of like meh.
It's basically the Malfurion level 20, so except the opposite, which is this is damage. Then the Malfurion one is what is it?
Healing.
Life Bloom, I think it's called.
Yeah.
So that kind of debated me on Malfurion when I first saw it. So yeah, this is the missing health. So 10% of the missing health. So if you have 0 missing health, you're doing 0 extra healing or extra damage here.
Yeah.
They have to be really low for you to really get any value out of this. And even then, let's say they're at 1%, you're basically getting 10% extra damage right? Assuming they're at like 1%.
Yeah. Yeah. Unspeakable horror, unspeakable talent, because you should. Unspeakable horror is you taking the talent to begin with, in my opinion.
Yes, it's just yeah, it's an unspeakable horror to take this talent. Please do not take this.
Endurance of hate silences enemies for 3 seconds after its root expires. So that's actually like if you can get a 3-second silent after the root is expired, that's actually pretty huge. Especially in a late game team fight, where now you can't, like, now that's a divine shield, that's an ancestral, that's a mosh pit, that's a whatever that could turn the tide of a fight. You can't. Your whole team or whoever gets caught in it can't do shit. That's pretty good.
I agree.
However,
I
that
think
just forces you to take a heroic that you don't really want to be taking, in my opinion.
I think in competitive you could. There is a chance that people will take it at level 10 to get this level 20. There is a chance. People do that all the time, and even we've seen lately with Nazebos coming into play. People are doing that for Nazebo level 20. But in general gameplay, just there's really no point in taking this 10 or 20 talent.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you could take Endurance of Hate at level 10 to get this 20, or you can just take Endurance of Hate or Consume Soul at level 10 and just win the video game because you killed everybody.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Exactly. Yep, I agree. Yep.
Mimic. While both Shade of Mephisto and Lightning Nova are active, Lightning Nova also casts from the Shade's location. I guess that's cool.
It's great, actually. I've seen it quite a bit, and it's scary, dude. All of a sudden, you see lightning rings everywhere. It is really scary. Like, I guess I don't know that it's good per se, but it's definitely has potential for being good.
Yeah,
If the team is split up, like half of the team is like fighting one area, half the team is fighting another. I think it could have value.
Yeah. Shade Lord at level 20. Activate the swap location with Shade of Mephisto, refreshes duration, and then Shade of Mephisto benefits from all of Mephisto's level 7 talents. I like this a lot because you're getting like 3 extra talents for the price of 1, and you can create some cool little moments and plays by creating space between yourself and opponents, or being able to finish kills, repositioning yourself, and then you get all the other level 7 talents. Like, so if you took the speed, I get the slow, I get the armor. If you took the armor, you get the slow, you get the speed. If you took the slow, you get armor. Like, it's all there. I think that's such a valuable talent.
Dude, it's actually crazy, and I think that this, I think they're, they learn. Designing heroes is an iterative process, right? So you're learning as you're creating these new heroes, and I think this is kind of what they wanted Body Check to be on Garrosh. Like, I feel like when I see Garrosh's tree, at first they were like, oh, we should make these Body Check talents sequential, and everything will work out because people will pick it at 1, and then they'll want to pick it later at 7, and blah blah blah.
Right.
But that obviously didn't work out, right? So they're thinking, okay, well, how can we make like something similar to that, where you still get the benefit, like you get one skill, or like it's like one skill that benefits from this one like how do I say this? You get additional benefits to that talent based on choosing another skill. And I think this one kind of fits that. I think this is the next iteration of the Body Check, so to speak. So you, instead of, and it's not anything like broken either. Like, Shade is awesome. It has utility. It has some damage, but it has mostly utility, right? So I like that it's something with utility, and not something that's just broken with damage or something like that.
Yeah. Those are all the oh my gosh, Mephisto talents. I forgot his name there for a second. I go with that.
Last thing.
Yeah.
Can you go back to the PTR screen for real quick?
Let me
check the skins, dude. The Eternal, the Wraith skins look awesome. The Star Wraith skins.
This is my favorite one right here. I like the Hollow Mephisto and the Soulburn. But yeah, these are cool too. I think.
No, next screen.
I know.
Yeah,
I think the Eternal Star,
sorry.
the Eternal Star will probably be my go-to.
Dang, I don't know. I like the yellow one actually. I think the yellow is my go-to. But yeah,
Really?
like I love the Star Princess kind of the theme. The what do they call it? Multiverse, I guess, is what they would call it in the lore. The Eternal Empire and the Star Princess fighting against each other, and then you got the Star Wraiths.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's so cool, dude. It's really cool. I like it.
I do like that theme. I do. All right, let's talk about Tyrande here real fast. So she got a little bit of a rework. No longer is she gonna be some just we need a support. All right, I'll pick her because I can still kill people. You know, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Boring AFK, sit there to auto attack and just trade damage and heal yourself as you 1v1 somebody. She got a couple changes now. Her Q, her Light of a Loon, has 2 charges. They share a cooldown. You use one charge, they use another one, and then the cooldown replenishes all the charges at the same time. Basic attacks lower the cooldown of this ability by 1.5 seconds, and then damaging heroes with abilities lowers the cooldown as well by 1.5 seconds. It's a 15-second cooldown. Sentinel, same thing as before. Lunar Flare, same thing as before. Starfall, same thing as before. Shadowstalk, grant all allied heroes stealth for 10 seconds and heal them for 400 health over 10 seconds. Remaining stationary for at least 1.5 seconds while stealthy grants invisible. 10 seconds for your whole team to be stealth.
Dang, we Dota now. We got the invis. I don't know what it is in Dota. It's like an invisible potion or something you can buy, and it cloaks your whole team.
It's pretty cool. Like you can set up like late game running around all over the place, and then just like, all right, let's just wait here. Let's just wait here, and then like the Muradin throws a storm bolt into a bush. Guess what? On Infernal Shrines, throws it into the bush. You're not there. You guys are actually all sitting on the like on a shrine that hasn't spawned yet or something, and they walk through that, and they
Yeah.
Hunter's Mark reveal a non-structured enemy and reduce their armor by 15 for 4 seconds.
It used to be 25, so they did nerf it a little bit here. They nerfed pretty much all the abilities damage-wise, as well as her auto attacks. All of that got nerfed for good reason, obviously, because she received a lot of healing potential, so they don't want the damage to still be there. It's a trade-off. Make her full support, so makes sense to me.
So, all right, let's look at Tyrande. Her talents: level 1, Moonlit Arrows, Celestial Attunement, and Calderai Resistance. Moonlit Arrow, basic attacks decrease the cooldown of Light of a Loon by an additional 0.25 seconds. If you just want to put out more raw healing, you can. Celestial Attunement, Light of a Loon removes stuns, silences, and slows from its target. And in Calderai Resistance, Light of a Loon grants the target 15 spell armor for 3 seconds. This effect stacks up to 2 times. So now you cap out at 30 spell armor. My pick here is going to be Celestial Attunement.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to, I think,
Yeah, having 2 cleanses there is nice. I do think this talent was cool before her rework because it gave you a free Q afterwards, but decent consolation here.
Yeah, I mean, as a support main, I think that's the most important thing for you, right? Being a support main. Makes complete sense to me as someone that's not a support main that would be playing Tyrande. I think Moonlit Arrows would be my go-to here. Just that extra raw healing will feel a lot better for me, just to be able to heal more. And if you go back and you look at kind of her Q description here, her Light of a Loon, not only do basic attacks lower the cooldown of this ability, but also damaging heroes with abilities lowers the cooldown. So you have a lot of CDR potential here, and then adding to that CDR potential with the basic attacks increasing the CDR by 2.25 seconds. I really like that, and I've seen it play out a lot, and you can put out a lot of healing. It is absolutely bonkers, and I think this idea is part of the reason why she's going to become an actual good full support now.
The idea of having a cleanse at level 1 is 2 cleanses at level 1, insane.
Yeah, true. But there's pseudo cleanses too, guys. Something to remember there. They're not full cleanses. They're not unstoppable effects. They remove it after it's already happened. So you have to be silenced or stunned or slowed to get it removed.
Yep. Yep. I mean, think about it. You can remove a stay a while and listen on somebody. You can remove a horrify off of somebody. 2 people.
Ooh.
You know.
Yeah.
Deckard Cain slows and roots, and like Deckard Cain has his slows and roots up pretty consistently. So
Yeah, this could be the anti-Deckard design kind of that they're looking at, because they tend to do that a lot. Is what's in the meta right now? How can I design it this to
Right.
kind of change up the meta, cause some counter drafting, and I think this is a good way to do that.
Yep. And I mean, you could remove it on yourself. It doesn't say this doesn't work on.
Well, you can't cast it if
Well,
you're silenced.
Well,
Or
the
stunned.
the slow.
Yeah, yeah,
At
the
least,
slow.
yeah.
You can remove the slow, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So
Yep,
you
so I
like
think-
you like Moonlit. I like Celestial.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
All right. Level 4. Activate to make Sentinel pierce. Activate to make Sentinel pierce through all heroes hit. Sentinel's width is increased passively. Sentinel's width is increased by 25%. Deals up to 100%, 50% more damage based on distance traveled. I think this could be pretty cool. A good talent if you're looking to really capitalize on that CDR. You want to be able to activate Ranger, send the owl hit if some people, get CDR, and get your ability back.
Yeah, that's a good point. I never even thought about that. I wasn't even sure how this really fit into her kit, but now that you mentioned that, that actually makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, support main, by the way. Lunar Blaze. Increase. This is so 2016, 2015.
Yeah.
Like, there's a talent that you just increased her range. Like, this was a go. You took this talent. Increase Lunar Flare's range by 50%. Hitting a hero with Lunar Flare increases his damage by 5% up to 100%. So pretty much 20 times.
Yep.
Good damage, good range, good follow-up. It's really strong follow-up. True Shot Aura. Activate to reset the cooldown of Hunter's Mark and grant 20% increased basic attack damage to nearby allied heroes for 5 seconds. Passively, its passive is basic attack damage increased by 20%. I'm assuming that's yours.
Yeah.
So this is a good sustain, like just kind of burst, sustain somebody, auto somebody down. You can be in that fight there to kind of put out that extra damage. Reset the cooldown of Hunter's Mark. You can apply your Hunter's Mark on somebody, right? Your teammate starts hitting them. You press this ability, you reset the cooldown, and you can cast it on somebody else. And share the love. Share that Hunter's Mark cooldown on everybody else. But
Yeah, it's nice. It's definitely nice.
my go-to here would probably be Ranger. This is oh man, like this depends on what you need, really. I think
Yeah.
Ranger would probably be a good one to take. If you're probably a solo support or something like that, and you need to put out more healing, more cleanses, and things like that. I think this is probably the go-to. If you're playing a pick comp with Stitches or something like that, or a Garrosh flip stun comp, Lunar Blaze. If it's like a brawling, we're going in auto attacking and just going ham. True Shot Aura is probably gonna be the way to go. But as far as for supporting healing, I'm gonna go with Ranger.
Yeah, I agree with you. Although I hate the activatable side, so I will go. I don't hate it. I just dislike it because when I'm learning new heroes,
Yeah.
reworked heroes. So I'd probably avoid that personally as someone that would relearn Tyrande, and I'd probably go with a Lunar Blaze as a default,
Okay.
just to kind of force myself to hit those lunar flares and feel bad when I don't.
Sure.
Uh,
I wonder
if
what the
I was gonna go,
cooldown on Ranger is.
yeah, it doesn't say. I can go check it right now in the thing while we keep talking.
Sure. Level 7. Everlasting Light. This is a Q talent. If Light of a Loon's second charge is cast on a different target, it heals for 40% more. That's pretty cool. That's a cool little
Hey,
talent.
real quick, can you go back to True Shot Aura real quick? Just 1 second.
Yeah.
So I just real quick note. I think actually this level, if you guys have a race comp that's an auto attack race comp on BOE, Battlefield of Eternity, I think this will be actually the pick no matter what.
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't think about that. Or any like where you have to like rush down a boss or something like that. Curse Hollow.
Yeah.
Or
So just wanted to note that.
Good point. That's a good note. Level 7, Everlasting Light. If Light of Balloon's second charge is cast on a different target, like I said, it heals 40% more. So you queue yourself, you queue somebody else, they get more healing. You can queue somebody else and then yourself. Good burst healing. Requires you to kind of use it pretty quickly, right? Because the charges share a cooldown. Level 7, Mark of Mending. Tyrande's basic attacks heal her for 2% of her maximum health. Basic attacks against targets with Hunter's Mark heal the attacker for 2% of their maximum health.
Woo!
So,
Woo!
this is not bad. This is not...
Woo!
I used
That's
to...
a lot of healing.
I used to cheese and, like, take this talent with Tychus and just, like, Hunter's Mark somebody, and then he would just, auto them and just heal up. Obviously the 15% extra damage doesn't apply to the giant killer, but still his auto attacks.
That's actually a really good point. So if you're going to take this one, I think the increased auto attack speed, the people that attack fast would be benefiting from this a lot.
Yeah, I think Greymane could benefit from this a lot. Diva could benefit from this a lot.
Woo!
Muradin, yeah, okay, cool.
Diablo could be okay with that.
Could be okay.
Not the worst.
His auto attacks are pretty slow.
You get 4%, let's say, in that duration. That's maybe worth it.
Who else actually? Now I'm curious. Zarya.
Oh yeah.
Zarya, Artanis could be pretty good. I think Tyrael can be pretty decent. And Twin Blade Barrier.
Tassadar, dude. Tassadar.
Yeah, Tassadar. I guess.
Oh my god, double support, guys.
and that's well, and think about it like this: you Hunter's Mark somebody, you Hunter's Mark somebody, and everyone that is attacking that person, that is auto attacking that person, heals for 2% of their maximum health. So it's an AOE heal essentially.
Winks
Ooh.
says Tracer.
Yeah,
I like that. That's a good one.
That's a good one too. Yeah.
That's another reason that the double support meta could come back. Maybe, who knows?
Elune shows an activate to make Tyrande's basic attacks heal the target ally for 200% of the damage dealt. I think this is a good talent. If I had to pick at this tier, it would either be Elune's Chosen or Mark of Mending. Everlasting Light kind of just seems a little like maybe if I need the burst healing, sure, but I don't know.
Yeah, I agree, but I think the problem with Everlasting Light is
you gotta use both Qs. It's the second char.
Yeah, but there's still like a 0.5 second cooldown between, so it's like, oh, I need to heal him. I need to burst heal this other person, but I can't because I missed it. It was 0.5 seconds ago.
I think Elune's Chosen would probably be the go-to. A higher skill floor to use and potentially could put out more healing than Everlasting Light. You see somebody getting focused, you just hit them with it, and you press D on that enemy, and then you just start auto attacking. That's not bad. 200% of damage. That's some good healing, and for 10 seconds too. So.
Yeah, and also the synergy with True Shot Aura at level 4.
And you could be hitting minions and shit. So.
Yeah, you can hit anything. Yeah, and there's lots of synergy so far in the talent trees. I think to go with that as well.
Level 10, Shadowstalk and Starfall. I think Shadowstalk is just gonna be the way to go.
Yeah, that healing is nice. Really nice.
It just reminds me of the Tyrande from back in the day.
Yep, this is how it used to be.
Yeah.
Starfall
could be a good, nice team. Like we need to win this team fight fast. Maybe she's a secondary support and you need more damage. Sure, AOE damage, sure. But Shadowstalk is probably gonna be the way to go.
I agree with that.
Level 13, Quickening Blessing. Gain 10% movement speed. Gain 10% movement speed.
We Rainer again, guys.
We Rainer.
You just get 10% movement speed for nothing. That's really nice.
You just get that. A Light of Elune increases its target's movement speed by 20% for 3 seconds. That's pretty cool for helping somebody repositioning yourself, and you get 2 Qs. So I think this is a good talent with the cleanses because you not only did you cleanse the stun and the root, you also gave them movement speed to be able to dodge any other kind of follow-up that might be
Oh my
coming their
god,
way.
you're right. That's actually really, really good.
That's why Karazim's movement speed talents on his Q, on his dash, are so good, because you've cleansed the target with cleansing touch, but you've also given them and yourself the movement speed to get away from anything else.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Harsh Moonlight Sentinel slows the first target hit by 40% and reduces. It's just the first target, and reduces their damage dealt by 40% and for 4 seconds. This could be pretty good against, maybe they have one target that's all their damage. They have like a hyper carry or something like that. Still,
And
like even then it's just the first target. Maybe like against a Sonya or a Greymane that gets on you or something like that. But
yeah, true.
it's
True.
it's nowhere near as good as it used to be.
Yeah, I don't want the owls to be how they used to be, so
Yeah.
I'm glad that they're like this. I think that it has a place. I think the quickening is going to be the go. Well, we'll get to that, but yeah, I think the Harsh Moonlight has a place. I don't think it's completely out of this tier, like unchoosable or anything.
Because before you would pierce through everybody and reduce all of their damage and their movement speed. Now it's just the first person.
Yeah.
Ranger's Mark. Basic attacks reduce the cooldown of Hunter's Mark by 1 second. Basic attacks against marked targets increase the duration of Hunter's Mark by half a second.
Whew,
Good.
that's also.
This is really good on immortal races and bosses.
Oh my god, yeah, and with the level, what was it, 7 Mark of Mending as well, you get the constant value from the mark.
You can heal. Is it all right, guys? We need to sustain up. Let's go back to the immortal. Let's just go to a boss real quick and. Bloop, bloop,
Yeah.
bloop, bloop, bloop.
Actually, that's kind of bonkers. Like this is actually really competitive tier, I feel.
Yeah. Because I like playing the support utility, keeping people alive style. My pick is Quickening Blessing. But
Yeah, that makes sense.
what do you
I like
like?
Ranger's Mark, man. That just seems really good.
Yeah. I don't know. 16. Empower. Reduce Sentinel's cooldown by 3 seconds. The first hero hit by Sentinel takes bonus damage equal to 7% of the maximum health. It's not bad. It's not bad.
Yeah, this looks like the damage tier. Like we're gonna get more damage on this tier. So
You can chunk out a Diablo, a Garrosh, something like that up front that's eating a lot of damage. You can kind of put some pressure onto them if you wanted to. And if you're piercing through everybody and you took those talents, you can push out more. You can continue to focus that target with these owls and chunk them out.
yep.
So that's not bad. Huntress's Fury. Increase the cast range and duration of Hunter's Mark by 25%. This is actually pretty big. Tyrande's basic attacks against targets with Hunter's Mark splash to nearby enemies. This has really strong synergy with Alun's Chosen at level 7. Because the auto attack splash and you're healing for 200% of the damage dealt by auto attacks, you can get some significant healing out. And being able to cast Hunter's Mark from a safer distance is also really strong. And just being able to have Hunter's Mark longer is really strong with that talent. Good team fighting talent.
Oof. Yeah, that's kind of bonkers.
Darnassian Archery. Basic attacks against enemy heroes grant a stacking 10% increased damage attack bonus for 8 seconds. This bonus is last when basic attacking non-heroes.
Notice how there's no cap on this.
Hang on a second. Wink says the AoE doesn't affect healing. Oh, okay. Sorry. Well, my bad then.
That makes sense. That would be kind of broken if it did.
Yeah. But still, though, like, having increased duration and safer casting distance is pretty strong. Yeah, Darnassian Archery was like this before, except for it was at 7 instead of 16.
Yeah, and it's still really good if you are going to be more team fight focused, I think. But
yeah. Well, Darnassian Archery also, like, it just stacked indefinitely as long as you were hitting heroes. This is for 8 seconds. It, like, you get that stacking bonus for 8 seconds, and then you cap out at a certain point. Right? Am I reading this?
You can't cap out. You can't cap out here.
Basically,
I saw McIntyre with 22 stacks.
oh yeah. No, you're right. You're
22.
right.
That means he had 220 extra increased attack damage.
So that means, like, if you stop auto attacking for somebody, you have 8 seconds to auto attack somebody again to refresh this duration.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. That's not bad, actually. That's a good team fight.
Yeah,
All right.
pretty good.
Level 20, Eye of the Huntress. Shadowstalk reveals enemies and heals more. You reveal all enemy heroes for 2 seconds, and you heal allies below 50% health for 50% more. This is an insane late game talent where you got to find out where the enemy is on a 60-second cooldown. That's a global reveal. And it's a good sustain.
Yeah, this is great. And in the middle of a team fight, even if you don't need to go stealth, just pop it and you're still getting that extra 50%. So at level 0, extra 50% would be what, 400. So you're getting an extra 200. So it's 600 total health over 10 seconds.
It's not bad.
That's not bad at level 0.
Celestial Wrath. Starfall applies Hunter's Mark to enemy heroes outside of its area of effect. Again, I didn't see a whole lot of people taking this talent, but I think it could be applied in some scenarios. But
Yeah, it's a little,
Shooting Star, same as it was. Every 8th auto attack has a free Lunar Flare. That Lunar Flare does count towards stacks, by the way.
I think they lowered it from 10 to 8 though.
I thought it was always like 8, or maybe it was 6. I don't know. I don't remember.
They lowered it for sure.
Increased the basic attack range by 1. That's pretty good. I wish they would change her auto attack animation because it looks pretty boring. She kinda just sits there
Yeah,
standing
I
still.
agree with that. It's too old.
Well, that's what makes me like not like playing against Tyrandas or playing with her, because they just sit there like, yeah, I'm just sitting here auto attacking you, but like it doesn't. It doesn't look cool. It doesn't look engaged. Not like Sylvanas' where she's like, or whatever, or like I don't know. She just stands there like straight. Man, I'm hitting you with arrow.
Yeah.
Ice Blade arrows increase attack speed by 25%. Basic attacks against enemy heroes reduce their damage by 8% for 2 seconds. This is FX stacks up to 50 times or 5 times, so 40%. I like Eye of the Huntress because of its utility and the healing that it provides, but these other talents are still pretty good. If you want to play solo kill Tyrande, you can. If you want to play a solo support, I'm pretty sure you can, but I have my build. I know, I'm going to be playing a lot of Tyrande. Let's just say that.
I'm actually, for once, excited about Tyrande. I've never been... when I first started playing HOTS and I got Tyrande and I started playing her, I was like, okay, this is okay. I still wasn't smitten with her, but at least I could do a lot of DPS, even though she was a support. And so I was, this was back in the day with the... I forget what the talent was called. Basically, you'd activate it and you do more damage, but you also it costs you mana or something like that. So that was like my first introduction to Tyrande.
That was a lot of people had that. What was that called? Yeah, you to increase your auto attack damage.
Blazing attacks or fiery attacks or something like that.
Something like that. Yeah.
But yeah, so that was my first introduction, and I was like, okay. And then they did the rework. And I was like, okay. I mean, I'm still not liking it. I think I will actually like this. I think that she will now fit her role. It makes sense for her. All of her talents look like they have some synergy potential. Mm-hmm. And I think there is some talent diversity you can also take along the way as well if you wanted to. I really like this a lot. I think this is exactly what we should have gotten the last rework. Blizzard, of course, being the angels they are, they want you to be able to do different things, right? So they're thinking, oh, well, if we make her a DPS and a support hybrid, then people will love that. And then it just ended up not working out. This is, I think, in my opinion, the better way to go, focusing more on the support side and then having some DPS talents that can help you there, but mostly healing based.
Yeah. Her talent tiers look probably the most diverse out of any hero that I've seen. But I'm a support bum, so I'm biased.
No, I agree. That's one of the things I've loved, and this is why I want more reworks. If I could just get reworks for the rest of the year, I totally would want reworks or balance, whatever you call this, right? I call it a rework. If I could get more things like this throughout the year on heroes that have zero talent diversity and have been around forever and have outdated talents, I would totally welcome that over new heroes. I want to keep seeing this. I love this. This is my jam.
Yeah. People are worried that Tyrande got butchered. I don't know. As a support main, someone that always looks at utility, always looks at healing, always looks at other ways to manipulate a fight outside of damage. This is super interesting to me. Like Deckard Cain, when he came out, I was like, this hero is broken. This hero is insane. And like Tyrande, I don't want to say she's broken or insane, but she has a lot of tools to help where, you know, high level supports are going to get a lot of use out of her and make some really cool plays.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there. I think I personally don't. I like 100% disagree with anyone that has said that I fear that Blizzard has butchered a third hero. The Raynor rework, wildly successful, has been seen in HTC multiple times, and is viable now as a Hero League pick in general. Asmodan, I think we even saw that in Hero League as the rework at one point. Or sorry, not Hero League, HTC at one point. On top of that, I got destroyed in a Hero League game last night as against an Asmodan. Asmodan is a really successful hero right now, has above 50% win rate, above 55% win rate.
Chromie and Kel'Thuzad.
Okay, Chromie. As for Chromie and Kel'Thuzad, I don't know about KT yet. That's something KTZ is still kind of up in the air. I haven't played him too much. Chromie was only a failure in the sense of the numbers because of what they were trying to do. We haven't seen her with the proper numbers yet. They've had the proper numbers for a little bit now, and of course you can argue whatever win rates are there right now, but I think there's still some work to be done on Chromie. I think they tried some stuff, but
I think with the most recent number buff that she got, she's actually okay. I think she's okay now.
Yeah, I agree. I didn't.
She's no longer just gonna one shot people by herself because of Chromie, and I'm just gonna carry this game because of it. Yeah, now you need some setup. Now you need some other follow up. You need other teammates to be landing skill shot as well. But it's definitely better to play against, and it's more fun to play with. But
yeah, and I can see what you're saying, McKeon, as someone that you're saying, oh, as a Warcraft 3 fan, her implementation as a healer is something that kind of gets to you a little bit, and I agree with that, and I'll tell you why. Because I came from StarCraft 2, and Tassadar is a freaking support in this game.
Yeah,
makes zero sense in any way, shape, and form. But if they did it right, then I wouldn't care, right? But I also feel like there's a potential rework for him in the future at some point. Potential for that, at least, to make him a full damage as opposed to a support. Yeah. I would like to see that side of it as well.
Right on.
Yeah.
Well, we went over Hanamura, Mephisto, Tyrande, the talents that we like, what we don't like. I cannot wait until they come out on the live server so I can actually play some good games or some games with them. Tyrande especially, oof, I cannot wait.
Let me know when you're gonna play some with Tyrande, man. I want to be there. I want to see how OP it is.
Yeah, for sure. Right on. Cool. Let's move into our Hero League report real quick. I know Soken, you've got a nice little report for us today. And then we'll talk about maybe instead of going, I want to wait till Aurumis is back to go over this insight thing and whatnot. And we'll just briefly talk about the heroes from last week that we talked about that got buffed that we played and stuff, just real fast. But
yeah.
So, what's going on in Hero League in your world?
So for Hero League, I played 4 to 5 games last night. I can't check right now, but yeah, I played roughly 4 to 5 games, and it's just a roller coaster every single time, man. I mean, I think I discussed this last time. So my last report was that I promoted to Plat 1, so that was super nice. Yesterday was a roller coaster, and I was hoping to end it positive because at the end, I think it was 5 games, because at the end of my 4th game I was like 50%, So I was like, okay, I'm gonna play this one last game and I'm gonna end it on a positive note. I'm gonna go full try hard and like just nail it in, feel good for the night. Funny enough, that was like the most competitive game of the night, and we ended up losing. I'm not the worst. I'm not like super mad about that game. My team was in comms and we were all making good calls, and we made a comeback, and it was super sick, but we ended up losing the game. So I was sub 50% last night, but I got to also play a game with Unileska on Brax's holdout. She was Cassia. I was Dahaka. So I was the solo lane, top lane. And we were just getting bodied all game long. I was getting bodied top. I couldn't hold the point because it was against a Rexar, and he was actually a pretty good Rexar player. And then I couldn't make any rotations bottom with my burrow because my bottom lane was just getting bodied the whole time. So I was just kind of stuck in lane staring at this bear the whole time, trying to figure out what I'm going to do. Finally hit level 7, started kind of taking the point more often because I had the consistent tongues with Feeding Frenzy, so I was feeling good there. I actually killed Misha a couple times, pushed out the lane, tried to make some attempts to burrow bottom, didn't work out, unfortunately. Like I said, we were getting bodied, and then late game we just got this team wipe, and then we went. It was like 4-person wipe, so we wiped 4 of them, and then we got the points, went bottom, took the bottom keep, and then we're like, we might be able to end, and we ended up getting a kill on that 5th person to offset the
death timers.
Yeah, the death timers. And then we just went all core and ended up winning. And all of us were like, man, they've got to be so mad right now after losing that game, bodying all game long and then just getting wrecked at the last second. So
nice.
Overall, I learned a lot last night. It was my first Hero League kind of binge session in a while, and it was nice to get back into it. And I wish I had won that last game. I probably could have done better on that last game. That was like the one that I feel I could have done better on throughout the whole night. But yeah, overall, I want to keep playing more Hero League. I want to hit Diamond by the end of the season. That's my goal. So I'm going to do it.
You can definitely do it. You can catch up to Sasa and pass.
I don't know about that.
Right
We'll see. We'll see.
Right on. Cool. I haven't played Hero League. I was out of town this week doing work stuff. For work, they sent me out of town, but hopefully I don't have to go out of town anymore for a while. But I do want to get back into it. I will get back into it this weekend. I'll be playing a shit ton of Hero League when I can. So, gotta catch up. I just want to play the game.
Yeah.
I just want to play.
I know, right? I kind of felt like that lately too. I got a lot of house stuff going on, and I was like, I need to just grind some Hero League. I just need to just get it out of my system, you know?
Yeah. Cool. Right on. And then last week we talked about playing the updated heroes from the previous patch. Real quick, I played some Tychus. I played him during the muster. Hey, Tychus is still a cool hero, man. His auto attacks got buffed, and his Q got a little buff. I felt it. I was like, is it the buff, or is it just me playing Tychus? Because people don't play him a whole lot. I think he's brutally underrated. They got an ETC that power slides in. They got a Urel that jumps in. Well, there's a Tychus on the back end of that. Well, on the back end of your team, as that Urel jumps in. Oh, guess what I got? I got a minigun, and you are going to get.
So did you feel like that basic attack buff, which was it looked small. It was only 2 damage, but that's at level 0, and also he attacks very fast. So did you feel like that really helped you a lot in your games?
It kind of planted the seed where it's like, okay, I don't necessarily need my trait to put out damage. I can just sit here and just auto attack this ETC. Oh, this Kel'Thuzad is a little out of position. Let me just hit him with the auto attacks. It's like 50 damage per tick, and he attacks 4 times in a second. 250 damage a second. That's not anything to laugh at.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
You know what I mean? Like, that's pretty crazy, actually, when you think about it. You can put out a lot of damage on somebody. But yeah. I also played some Artanis. That was fun. I think Artanis is a fun hero. There's just too many other heroes that are too good right now, and it's too easy to shut an Artanis down, in my opinion. But
yeah, I agree with that, based on his trait.
Mm-hmm. But what about you?
Yeah, I played Sonya, and I played Kel'Thuzad. I only played 1 game of Kel'Thuzad. Actually, I only played 1 game of Kel'Thuzad and 1 game of Sonya, so there's that. But I did the Sonya W build. I went full W from level 1 all the way up, and that game on Sonya felt really good. I actually was feeling it was feeling it decently well. I do miss, I like to play the survivable Sonya. That's more my style. So when people were going Poison Spear, I wasn't doing that. But I do like the W build for the wave clear, and even when heroes are clumping up and you get a nice W, a nice seismic slam on all those people and splashing to everyone and going farther, it's actually not too bad. And we actually saw it get played in HGC Open actually by Psystorm Gaming.
Yeah,
picked the Sonya on Infernal Shrines and went, I think it was Infernal Shrines, and went W build. So you got to see that in action, which is pretty cool. And if I'm not mistaken, they won that game. But again, my memory is like kind of bad right now. As for Kel'Thuzad, it just all that game did was remind me how bad I am at Kel'Thuzad now because I haven't played him in so long. I don't want to say that yes or no he's good or bad right now. I got bodied by a Kel'Thuzad for 20 minutes before I won the game on Braxis. So there's that. I don't think he's bad at all. Just based on my theory, I don't think he's bad. I like a lot of the changes in redistribution that they did. It will just take time to kind of get used to that play style for what you're playing for, in my opinion. But I'm not a Kel'Thuzad main, so I kind of want to see where that goes.
Right on. Cool. All right, with that being said, I think we're going to end it there. That is our show for tonight, for this evening. Thanks to everybody for hanging out tonight. Soken, thanks for being here. Aurumis, wherever you are, my brother, may the Nexus be with you. Anywhere you go.
May the Nexus be with you.
All right. Thank you all for listening to the Nexus Trolls, a Heroes of the Storm podcast, which we stream live on our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/TrollsGG, every week on Thursdays at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. Soken, socials, what's up? Where you at?
All right. Hit me up on Twitter at Soken, GLHF, SOKEN, GLHF. Hit me on Twitter with your finest memes, dankest, purest memes. And then on Twitch, I stream at twitch.tv/Soken, SOKEN gaming. I streamed the muster as well as a few other. I had actually a lot of streams last week. I streamed a lot last week, 3 or 4 times. So that was pretty cool. This week I haven't had as much luck, and I'm going out of town this weekend, so it's very unlikely I'll stream this week, unfortunately. But I'm looking to come back strong next week and get a couple streams in there.
Are you gonna play some Hero League tonight?
I'm gonna try.
You should stream this. Just say.
Maybe.
Just do it.
We'll see.
Just do it.
We'll see.
Just do it. What's so hard about it, right?
We'll see.
Just do it. Just do it so I can watch. I want to watch. All right, you guys can find me on Twitter at GOONHOTS, GOONHOTS. Twitch.tv/GOONHOTS. I haven't been streaming a whole lot lately. The way with my scrim schedule works with no tomorrow, it's a little hard for me to stream during the day unless I've got some random time available or the weekend is available for me. What else? You can also find me on Troll and HGC, Here's the Storm Esports podcast, which airs Tuesdays. I'm there with Bags, Tuesday evenings, 4:30 p.m. Pacific, 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. And I think that is it. Be sure to check out the Discord, the Trolls.gg Discord. You can find that. It is Discord /troll. Hang on, what Discord or Trolls.gg/Discord. We will drop it in chat for everybody. It's in the show notes. Subscribe to our show on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, or wherever you happen to find your podcast online. And you can visit our website at trolls.gg/TheNexusTrolls to watch this and past shows, along with past video streams, which can also be found on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/TrollsGG. Follow the show on Twitter at TheNexusTrolls. And if you want to hang out with us in the Trolls community in-game, /join TrollsGG in the game, or you can join, again, our Discord channel. But yeah, thanks to everybody for hanging out. Soken, as always, pleasure to be here with you every week. And yeah, Till next
Love
time.
you, brother.
Love you too. Love you too, Aurumis, wherever you are. Rest in peace. Just kidding. Just kidding. No, we'll see. We'll see him next week. All right, guys. Take it easy. Have a good one. We'll see you next time.
See ya.
Peace.